this is what I'm trying to tell people. It ain't a new religion.
Yo,
This is
Corey. I swear, if I had like the bomb sound, I would have been like,
Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Awaken to Joy. Again, we are so happy to welcome our soul family, our soul cousin. Listen, it's Corey and he's back. So that's Soul Traveler 77. And we're going to let him introduce himself. Hey, Corey.
hey, Corey.
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? I think people probably already know I'm the guy that cusses and talks crazy, but I have OBEs. But no, again, I'm Corey Brandon, Soul Traveler 77 on all platforms now. So I'm honored to be with you guys again. Like I told you, y'all soul family at this point. It's not even like an interview. It's just us shooting the shit.
Yeah.
How do y'all say it over there in England? It's a chat.
Shooting the shit. We're just having a chat.
Having a chat. So how y'all
just
say
having
it?
a chat.
Yeah. So again, I'm honored to be here. You guys are, like I said, we family because we've actually connected on the other side as well. So you know how that goes.
Yeah. Well, let's just get right back into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were actually having a really profound conversation because a lot of us do this, and I've done it myself. Okay. It's when you find yourself in a dream and you don't validate it as being out of your body because you didn't look back and see your body, or you didn't have full lucidity at the beginning. So you're like, I only got it for the end bit. It was only a little bit. So I was 70% conscious or whatever. Just share with us what you were saying previously around that language and around that thought process and how we can kind of just start, empowering ourselves.
I've actually kind of gotten to the point where I'm doing away with that percentage language. I don't know where it came from. It's definitely not something I've heard Darius say. And if he has said it, he hasn't said that to me. As a matter of fact, my very first experience, I didn't come out my body and turn around and look at my body or any of that. I woke up, I opened my eyes, I was outside, and I had a whole testimonial with Darius. And the first thing, within the first 2-3 minutes of me telling him what was going on, he said, "Oh yeah, that's it. You were out." And so we got to stop thinking it always has to happen one way. Again, we all come into this. I know I came into this through Darius, and he had a specific way. He's teaching a specific way for you to come out of your body and you can turn around. But he's also now teaching me personally how to come out through my dimensional spaces. So, you get into the dream, you become aware that you are dreaming, and then you focus on something and you're able to command your soul to come out of your body through that particular dimensional space. I think people don't understand out of body means out of body, whether you are in our base reality realm 1, whether you're in a dimensional space. Your soul does not sleep at night. Every night you are coming out of your body, regardless of whether you're aware of it or not. We've been told dreams are one thing, but we've been told that by people who don't even know what dreams are. They have there's no scientific community that can explain what a dream is. They're going to say, "Oh, it's your brain doing XYZ." Well, your brain is nothing but a processor chip. That's it. Your brain literally processes information around you in realm 1, in your realm 1 experience. And it does it through your 5 senses. So you see something, it's like a camera lens. Your eyes are the lens, your brain is the camera. So I used to be a photographer, so I kind of understand the inner makings of a camera. The lens is just your eyes. It's what the light goes into the lens. It goes to the computer chip in the camera, and the computer chip in the camera processes the image. But that's the same thing you doing all day when you walk around. You seeing stuff, but it's so happening at such a rapid speed. Nobody's sitting around thinking about that processing. It processes faster than any computer we know on Earth. We are the greatest computer on Earth, the human mind, right? But it is just that, a processor chip. So science will try to attribute it to mind, but that has nothing to do with consciousness, because consciousness lives outside of what you can experience through your five senses, which is what we're finding out through the OBE and dimensional spaces and lucid dreaming. It's what we're finding out. The biggest piece of the OBE, the biggest thing that you are getting from that experience is to find out that your consciousness exists beyond this base reality. That is it. Like, I can't say it enough. It's cool if you get to go see some cool shit. I met some Lyrans. Cool. I saw some beings in my house. Great. I flew through the air. Wonderful. That's stuff that I do anyway. That's who I am. I'm only being dumbed down for this experience that I'm having here in Realm 1. Flying isn't something special because that is what I do on the other side. Teleporting isn't special. It's what I do on the other side. Telepathy, speaking without words, me and you can be on the other side. Your mouth ain't moving when you're talking to me, because that's what we do. That is the everyday existence. And I say every day as though there is time on the other side. It's not, but that is our complete existence on that side. So these things shouldn't, because we agreed to forget when we came here, it's surprising to us that we have these abilities. But we don't have those abilities on the other side. We are those abilities, right? So that's literally what we are. Like, we're God in the flesh. So everything you can think of when you think of God, that's what we are. Like, so every attribute you would give to a God, that's what we are on the other side. So in understanding that, it's made me kind of rethink a lot of these things that we say, like, percentages of consciousness. Oh, you're 100%. Listen, if you in a dimensional space, you outside of your body. You just may not be fully aware that of it, fully in control. I'll say that, fully in control, meaning that you're so aware that you can dictate what you see and where you go and those things like that. So from an awareness standpoint or a consciousness standpoint, that might be the difference, but you are outside of your body. You just in a dimensional space. And if you follow the technique of simply staring at something and commanding full consciousness or full awareness, you're going to become fully aware and know that you're in this dimensional space. I've had that happen most recently. I had experience where my father entered my dimensional space as a soul, like him as he was 40 years old. He was young. My dad is almost 80 years old. So he entered my space. And at that moment, I was aware. I knew I was in a dimension. I knew it. I said it. I was like, oh, I'm in a dream. Oh, I know. Like, I knew in that moment I was seeing my father in a dimensional space. I knew he was in my field. I knew everything that was going on around me. And so he came in, he gave me some information. Well, I'll tell you what he said. So he came in and he said, Corey, I have pancreatic cancer and I'm going to transition when you're, I think he said 45 or 55. I wasn't sure which one he said. I just turned 48 or 58. I just turned 48 September the 9th. So September the 8th. So just a couple weeks ago.
Happy belated.
And thank you.
Yeah.
And so he told me he was going to transition. And I said, oh, shoot, that's 6 months from now. And he said, yeah. And walked through some double doors of a hospital we was in. And then the whole scene changed. And I was outside the parking lot of the hospital. It felt 100% real, as though I'm sitting here talking to you guys. That was an out of body experience. It wasn't, I didn't turn around and look at my body. But I was fully aware of what was going on in the conversation I was having. And I knew that was my father. Like, I knew he looked just like my dad. If I showed you pictures of my dad when he was younger, that's exactly what he looked like. And he shared that information with me, and that was it. I had another experience where I was it was in a dimensional space, and I was with my daughter. So my daughter's 5 years old. I probably told y'all about that one, but I felt like I had lost her. And in the middle of that experience, I said, wait, I'm dreaming. I don't even want to be in this dream. And the whole dream collapsed around me. So again, I want to get away from putting levels on it, because it's all the same. It's all, you are all of it is out of body. Like, is there a out of body experience where you turn around and you look at your body? Yes, I've done that too. And it didn't feel any different than a dimensional space coming out through a dimensional space. It felt exactly the same. It's physical. Again, the first experience I had, I didn't see my body. I didn't even walk through my house. I just was outside, and it felt just as physical as it felt the time I was walking around my house and I seen the shadow beings walking around my house. It felt the exact same. The physicality is what determines what your level of awareness is. So if it's physical, do you know I'm fully out of my body? I mean, if you in a dream, it may not feel as physical, but that's how you can actually set that protocol to come out through that dimensional space. But ultimately, you are still out of body. You're not in your body dreaming. Your soul does not sleep. It doesn't sit in your body while you're asleep. Your soul is out doing stuff that you don't even remember because you're not consciously going into that state. So I just kind of wanted to address that, because I feel like what happens is people find ways to invalidate their experience, or they'll let somebody else invalidate their experience. Well, no, that's this or that's that or this. It's all the same shit. It's it's just a level of physicality associated with fully, like, pulling yourself out your body, looking at yourself, sleep on the couch. There's a level of physicality there that you don't get right away when you're coming out through a dimensional space. You'll get it, but you have to pull yourself out through that dimensional space and just make sure that you have that full awareness.
That is helpful to not only us on a personal level, because there's layers to this. You could have an OBE, but then you're still going to turn around and be like, okay, this has been 3 months and I don't feel like I've had progress in this area. And then you start chipping away, and then you start invalidating your experiences.
And then you'll quit.
Exactly. And then it's funny you say you'll quit, because like you're saying now, quit what? You're doing it anyway.
Exactly. Like, yeah. So what happens, and I'm seeing it happen in our community a lot, is people will say, well, that's not what that is. And then so what they do is they gravitate towards this love and light spirituality, new age spirituality stuff, because they can't duplicate the same experience over and over and over again. Well, you can, and you are actually. You just need to keep practicing. And so I've come to find out people don't want to put the work in for this. And what I've found is that doing this on a consciously coming out your body is just as much training as trying to become a professional footballer. Like, it's a level of dedication you need to have to it. Like, I even fast more now. So I know my body is rejecting certain things because the food we eat is shit. I'm actually doing an interview with a company. This guy, he was a guy that I follow. His name is Paul, and he has a company called Masterpiece, and shameless plug, but I'm going to do a whole interview with them, and they have an actual detox to detox metals and plastics out of your body. Since I've been doing this detox, my dreams have been more lucid. I have been more aware in them and been able to, like, all these experiences I had with my dad and all this other, and a couple others that we can talk about later if you want. All of them have been happening since I started doing this detox. And so much bullshit in our food, so much bullshit in the air, in the water, everywhere, that, this is a training regimen. Like, you got to train your body to be able to lead. You got to train yourself. 15 years ago, you didn't even know you could do this. You see what I'm saying? And now you know you can do it, but you don't want to put in the work so that you can achieve it, right? And then not wanting to put in the work leads you to start saying, well, they aren't, I'm not experiencing that, so maybe they're not telling the truth. Or, I had this little experience, but that wasn't the same thing. You start invalidating stuff because you're not willing to put the work in to have the full experience. And so I just keep doing it. Now, with that being said, I'm no longer OBE chasing. Like, that's not what I'm about no more. Like, if I don't have another one, I'm okay. Like, I'm not running around chasing that experience, because for me, it was about what the experience taught me more than it was about the experience. Like, going to the halls of Amenti, cool. You go to the halls and you see some cool shit. You see books on things flipping by themselves, and it's like, oh shoot, that's cool. But that's normal. That's like literally happening right now. That's not abnormal stuff. What I needed to know was that I exist beyond this experience. That's what I needed to know. And that's the only reason I got into this, because I was wondering what happened to my friend and my mom when they passed. So now I look at even the transition period different. Like, it's a happy home going for me in my eyes. Like, in my eyes, you went home. I can't wait to be going home too. Like, I'm excited about that day when we all get to go home, right? Because that is our existence. This is the dream. What we doing right now is the dream.
It's the dunya. Yeah.
When we leave here, that's life. That is real life. And once you've seen that, it just changes. And so that's why you'll notice a lot of my most recent videos are teaching people about what life is like now and how we should be approaching life now from my OBE experience. So, yeah. So, yeah.
So, first of all, Corey, it's very, very profound what you said, on so many levels. Like Shem said, for us, definitely helping, because we are at the moment teaching about how to acclimate a situation and how to transmute, and the power of words, the soul contract we make, and the false agreement as well. So these are few courses that we want to be able to teach to the community.
Mm-hmm.
But then, even though you want to teach something, you always learn. And you should always learn, really.
Right.
So when you say these words about not telling yourself this level of consciousness and invalidating what these experiences are, even through dream state, is so important, because you're absolutely right. You literally telling the universe, you wording it in a way that this is lesser than, when clearly this is natural ability. And we've been saying to many of our community members, like, look, you're already doing it anyway. That's a part of you. It's not detachable from you.
It is
there.
you.
It is you.
It is you.
And even knowing this, you can still thinking, oh, I just did a dream, but I don't know, it's not OBE, so I don't know what it means, and la la la. And so, and there's such things as well about dream interpretation, where you get messages, and the more you validate it as being real and meaning something, the more attuned you are to it anyway. And the way you explained it is that not to see it as something that is even measurable, like you have to measure how much consciousness you had. And you pointed out two things, and I think it's not really talked about, which is your awareness and your consciousness. And I'm going to ask you simple questions. What's the difference? So that the community can get their head around it.
Okay, so to be quite honest, if you asking me what I think they're the same thing. It's just two different words for the same thing. Awareness and consciousness are the same. Consciousness means that you're aware. It literally means you're aware. So it's the two words for the same thing. And so people like consciousness better because it sounds more,
scientific,
consciousness, and like you're gonna meditate your way into oblivion. So people like that word better, I guess. It sounds more astral or whatever words they like to use. Again, these words don't matter. It's not even our language on the other side. Like, this is not. These words mean nothing. Like, it only means something here. And this is what I want people to start understanding. The main purpose of it, start detaching yourself. Start detaching yourself from this base reality and finding meaning in this base reality. It don't mean shit. It's an experience. You ain't supposed to sit around and figure it out what's going on here. Like, bro, just have the experience and let's go home. That's literally as simple as this shit is. But yeah, but we make it more complicated because we want definite answers. Like, but we don't want to go to the other side to get them. So let me explain. A lot of this confusion and stuff comes from people not willing to put in the work to go to the other side and find it out for yourself.
Oh,
So if you don't find it, yeah, go ahead.
Hold up. It's funny saying that, and I think it's very relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But then, because the argument will be this as well. I say, yeah, but why would I put the work when you're saying something's already a natural ability? Because this is the thing, the confusion people get. Like you say, we're complicating the matter all the time. So people are under the impression, yeah, but when I put the work, I don't get no result. Because this is what's happening in
I know.
And I realize it's a contradiction between what you're thinking and what's actually taking place.
What's happening.
So how could you let people know? Because we have so many people saying like, yeah, I haven't got my first OB yet and I'm trying and it's not coming through and stuff like that. What state of mind should they be in then for that to be able to take place?
Yes. So number one, you got to be out of this state of mind that you're currently in where you're doubting what's real and what's fake. Like if your frequency doesn't match the frequency you need to get out of your body, it's not going to happen. So if you're in a fear-based situation, it's not going to happen. If you're in a doubt-based situation, which most doubt comes from fear, it's not going to happen. If you're invalidating the little experiences you are having, it's basically like you're not being appreciative or having gratitude for what you are experiencing. So why should you be able to experience more, right? There's certain natural things, certain universal things. If gratitude is the biggest thing. If you have gratitude for what you have, then you give them more, right? So if you don't have gratitude for the experiences you are having, this is why I stopped invalidating my experiences, even if they were smaller or shorter or perceived smaller or shorter, because there's no small or large or none of that shit. Again, we literally live in a reality where there is smaller, bigger, good, evil. That polarity only exists here. So if we can get out of that state of thought where it's about how much more of it is versus how much less of it is, then you can just enjoy the experience for what it is, and then you'll start having more. So I'll tell you that, number one, if you're in fear, or if you're in doubt, or you're in disbelief, or if you're looking for someone else to validate some stuff for you, you're not going to have the experience. I'll tell you, I listened to Darius. Every video Darius had at the time on YouTube, I probably watched them all.
Yeah.
But it didn't become real for me. Yeah, but it didn't become real for me until I had my own experience. Most of it was just, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, cool. Yeah. And then once I had my own, it was like, oh, shit, I really know what he's talking about. So if go back to what you said, why would we work hard if we know we had these abilities? These abilities are dormant. You come here to leave those abilities on the other side. What we're teaching and what Darius is teaching is how to tap into them while you're in this base reality, something you was really never supposed to be able to do. But we found a cheat code. And so now it was given, the cheat code is in the programming, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to do it, right? You wouldn't be able to have an out of body experience. We wouldn't even dream. We wouldn't do none of that as humans if it wasn't built, the cheat code built into our programming here. So you want to work hard to achieve it so that you can peek behind the veil. Because once you peek behind the veil, it changes how you live here. Now you don't have to move the same way here. You don't have to move in lack, like we talked about, in scarcity and lack, because you know on the other side there's no such thing. And even if you experience some of that here, you know that you can manifest your way out of that. And even if you never get the abundance that you thought you wanted, it's all on the other side anyway. This is why I don't focus too much on nothing going on here. Like, I just move. To be quite honest, where I'm in life now, I just kind of move and let my soul steer the ship more than anything. So if it feels right, I do it. If it feels wrong, I don't. Like, it's just that simple. because my soul already knows the outcome of all of this. Like right now, it knows the outcome of what's going to happen with this video we doing. It knows the people it's going to reach. It knows the souls it's going to connect with and the souls it's not going to connect with. It already knows all of that. I'm just catching up, right? We just going to experience after the fact because, again, everything that's being manifested on the other side takes time to manifest in the physical realm here. That's one of the distortions of this realm and of the construct, period.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you said some things about there's some things that everything's on the other side, and you know what, it sometimes baffles me a bit when there's a saying that we all know, as above, so below, as within, so without, and we know it, but somewhat it's extremely difficult for a lot of us to just believe, more than believe it, know it, to feel that we know knowing of that. Because like you say, these are all abilities you have on the other side. So therefore, if I know this to be true, then I shouldn't doubt it. But yet, I doubt it. And how would you explain, because what I realize is people are in the need right now to know, like, yeah, but what is this taking place? What's happening? Why do I know something and then all of a sudden I doubt it for some unknown reason to them?
Right.
Because I think that's what, because you want to foster some things. So you want to be able to, so if you work, like you say, if you're going to work on trying to get, into the OBE state, you want to be able to ease that process, build momentum, not always think yourself like up and down, because now what's your take on that? Like, how can you like maybe give few tips where people can, calm down really and then just be at, ease about this?
Well, another shameless plug, I just made a whole video on fear. So I'm going to address some of the things I talked about in that video. One, we got to start, again, the number one reason people aren't having these experiences is fear. It's fear of what they're going to see. It's fear of losing the belief systems they've carried their whole life. Because once you go to the other side and see there's no hell, you can't go back to church. Like you're not going back to church, because it's like, why? Like, why am I going? Like, why? Once you go to the other side and you understand that that's our home, it just hits different. It hits different. So again, fear is the number one reason you aren't doing that. So one is, we have to look at fear for what it is. Fear and excitement are the same frequency. It's literally the same energy. It's the same energy. It's just opposite ends of the frequency. So fear is a lower frequency. Excitement is a higher end of the frequency, but it's the same energy, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. So
learning how to switch it from fear to excitement. Like I'll give you an example. The time I came out in my house and saw the shadow beings and stuff, I literally could hear stuff going on around me as I was putting myself in sleep paralysis. And I heard steps. And the first thing I thought of was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to come see you soon. I said it in my mind. I said, yeah, I'm excited. I'm getting ready to come see you soon. That's what I told myself. And that generated that excitement. But it was enough. It wasn't so much excitement that it kept me in my body, but it was enough. I was in that middle area where it wasn't fear, it wasn't overexcitement. It was in that area where you understood, like, I'm not going to be harmed. I'm good. I'm actually looking forward to having the interaction. Yeah. And I came out. And so it was a moment where, normally, had I tried this months before that, I probably would have been in fear, hearing footsteps around my house. I can hear them. Now it's a common thing. Whenever I'm trying to put myself in sleep paralysis, I can hear noises. I can hear footsteps. I've heard my name being called. And it used to shake me. Now it's kind of like, okay, cool. I'm getting ready to meet somebody. Somebody's going to be out here when I come out. Right. So that's one of the things that helps a lot of people. And I just discovered that through my experiences, because I even remember when I first started, I even asked him, I said, how do you get rid of the fear? And he couldn't even give me a way to get rid of the fear. He just said, you just got to get rid of it. And I was like, but how? And so it wasn't until I went through it that I could put it in words, the things that I did. And that was one of them. I changed that fear into excitement. I changed that fear into expectation. So now it's not, I'm worried about what I see. see, I'm expecting to see something. I'm expecting to, and I'm thankful for the experience I'm about to have. That pre-gratitude before you even have it. Like those are all things you want to be in gratitude for the experience, whatever it looks like.
Absolutely.
And just understand, and then the whole time understanding that nothing can harm me. So I know nothing can harm me. I've seen beings on the other side and they can't do nothing to me. Nothing. I walked up to a shadow being standing in my house and I just tapped it on the shoulder because I knew there's nothing it could do to me. Nothing.
This
Right?
is beautiful because I know that video about fear, I referred people to that in our last life because literally you were saying everything that they needed to hear in that time. You said everything I needed to hear because I saw some next people the other day and I was like, yo, your face is set up in a way that is interesting. And I was just thinking, remember what Corey said. Corey said.
No, listen, the stuff I said in that video is stuff I needed to hear. Like, again, my soul, understand these are downloads from the other side. I don't know this shit. And the fleshly Corey don't know this shit. The soul Corey or soul whatever my name is on the other side knows all of this. So the stuff that I'm getting is coming from there.
Yeah.
And so it's stuff I needed to be reminded of. Like, bro, you open up these abilities. It doesn't mean you become Superman and never get scared again like you still have moments where you still human. We are still in these flesh suits. So as long as you're still in these flesh suits, and you said something earlier, you said the people know, but they still have a problem disbelieving. That's why we still got to come back here.
Yeah.
And there's so much distortion here. There's so much fear. It's so much control. It's easy to go back to sleep. Listen, you could full on have an OBE, come back here and say, I'm done with that, and go right back to sleep.
Yeah.
That's a real thing because sometimes it feels easier.
It is easier to go back to sleep.
And you know what, you've explained it very well when it comes to fear and how people can be fearful and how you need to try your best to overcome this because that's actually what's going to block you for a lot of things. But yes, we're talking about OBE, but it's also for so many other things. I mean, you won't perform as well if you on the fear than if you are excited. And even having a little nerves is great because sometimes this is like, and that's why when you picture like the frequency of fear and then excitement being really close to one another and actually being one of the same, so almost like the polarity of one another. It's great because people can begin to understand. And we had an episode where we talked about the map of consciousness, where understand which of these frequencies and whatnot.
Yep. I got that same map in my phone.
Yeah, this is brilliant, and it is really good because you even say like to try to basically what we've been saying to some of our community, the power of alchemizing things, which is like you transmuting fear into excitement, and there's a lot of things you can do like that, just to help yourself. And what's happening now is people have enough of not understanding and being under constant fear. And you mentioned something. It's got me thinking about how basically your mind is usually the one who's trying to take the show here. Because you say you're still in your what you call it, flesh suit. That's what you're saying, right?
Yep.
And your mind tend to kicks in and then say, "Now you're making that up. That's not true, and you can't do this," and so on.
And they try and do an update program, reset shit.
Right, exactly.
Like, I didn't say it.
And you refer to us being, I think, computers, like basically. And what it is, and I think it's important to talk about it because people don't realize that you are being programmed. Your mind is programmed. There's things currently happening, and like regular stuff. Down to the food you eat, but also the sound you hear and all that stuff. And people are wondering, what's happening? And I like the fact that you offer a solution by saying you can literally transmit this. You can literally, go from fear to excitement. and what you've done during your sleep paralysis, where you hear the sound, and because that can be something that can be scary if you're not used to it. And you offer a solution, because we can all talk about, all our own experiences and stuff like that, but people need concrete solution at this point. They need but how do I get over it? So it's very beautiful that you're able to do that. And I found out that on your videos, you're talking a lot about like tips and how to help people. Because another thing as well you had a video about is when it's hard for you not to have an OB. And why is this
or not to
what's that happening?
Yeah, or not to feel like you're having one.
Yeah.
And not to beat yourself up about it, and not to invalidate yourself. And see, this is it. And I'm so happy that our communities have a crossover. That like some people in our community are in your community, because this is the information that we're trying to net and spread as much as far and wide as possible. And there's always going to be people out there who are going to talk about the darker side, about being out. And while you can be confronted with options out there that may scare you, ultimately, there is nothing to fear but fear itself.
And to add to what you just said, because then I was going to point out the fact that people are under the belief, some people, that when you're on earth here and trying to go through your life, that somewhat you're doomed and there's no solution. And the way the universe has been created, there's a balance in everything. So therefore, there's a solution for everything. And when you say, well, look, fear, excitement, that's the opposite.
Balance.
That's the balance. So I would urge people to try to find out what's the balance, what's the opposite, or whatever they feel they can do, and how does it, and tap into that. And so I'd like you to mention, to try and explain a little bit briefly, because I know you had a video on that, and people can go and check on the channel. But like for our community here, to try and explain how, if you can't get an OB, even if you had one,
or you don't feel like you're having the one that you want.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. It's like what you said. That side note, what you shared about your experience with your father, even though you said it wasn't long, it was just is such an ability, is such a gift. It wouldn't matter if it was 2 minutes. That information there is beautiful. Like telling people about how to validate those things as well. Like, what have you got to say to people?
So, there's a couple of things y'all touched on, but I want to go back to something you said a little bit earlier, Shem, when you were saying that entities or people see dark sides of. There is no dark side to the other side. It's only if you believe it's a dark side to the other side. There's literally nothing that can harm you. Something is dark or evil because it can hurt. On the other side, nothing can hurt you. So there is essentially nothing evil. What we think about evil people today is people who hurt other people, correct? Well, we all agree that's the base foundation of evil. Whether it's be white collar crime, whether it be murders, whatever, you're hurting someone.
Yeah.
Right? Well, on the other side, that don't exist because you can't hurt another soul. It's impossible. It is literally the only thing that is impossible on the other side, unless that soul believes it to be so. Now ask yourself, what soul will walk around knowing that that is impossible, believing that it is possible? That makes sense? No soul would believe
a soul who is, I think that it's a soul that doesn't truly know yet.
But that's what I'm saying. On the other side, there is no soul that doesn't truly know.
But
all the souls know.
But check this out. And it's funny, you both say that thing. And as you say that thing, I'm thinking, hold on. Even for the person who don't know yet, check it out. So you don't know. So you're not going to really want to do an OB because you're scared of death, right? Meaning that you feel, if I do want to, I can die. And I don't want to die. So you physically or in your awareness that this body will go and you won't have it anymore.
Yes.
But then if you don't have your body anymore, even in your in that logic, even that type of thinking, if you are physically no longer, you can't be hurt. You actually can't be physically
Nothing
hurt.
can hurt
But
you
this
at
is the
that point.
thing. That's what I was trying to say. It's like the other day. I had an instance where I knew that someone was trying to interfere, thinking that I did not have my full lucidity on the other side.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they didn't physically harm me. I wanted to physically harm them for the attempt of it. And I stopped myself because I said, Shem, you can't harm nobody here.
Right. So that's
You
my
see what I'm
point.
saying?
No, and
It's
that's
that.
exactly what I'm going to. So evil exists. Evil and all the things that could potentially happen to you only can happen to you here. So a lot of times we go into that, bringing fear from our real one experience into the OBE.
Yeah.
But once you understand, once you had that one experience, you know nothing can harm you unless you went into it believing something could harm you.
Yeah.
The harm that comes to you on that side is the harm created by yourself. You allowed that harm, if there is any at all. I'm telling you, if you don't believe there's a hell, you won't ever experience one. If you don't believe in demons and all this other foolishness, you'll never experience that.
Yeah.
It could be the worst looking entity being you ever seen, and then they could talk to you and it sound like Chad from work. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
That's
the
what
mean,
thing is,
I'm
we've been
saying.
conditioned. Yeah,
We've
we've
been
been
conditioned
conditioned
to
in this
believe
experience to believe that ugly things equal
all
evil
evil
things,
yeah,
things.
and
And
or that
yeah,
these things are ugly. When in
yeah,
actuality,
they
it could
just
be beautiful and we're the ugly thing.
yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
So,
Like the
worse.
reptilians and the Lyrans don't look at us and be like, oh, look at those beautiful humans. They could probably look at us and be like, ugh, because they
Have
are
their looks.
experiencing that polarity on their front.
yeah,
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
and it's very funny you mentioned the idea behind, or in front or behind, whatever, hell,
Yeah.
going to hell, and that, and that's what we do in these videos, so that people can be like, I get it now. Think about
Yeah.
it. So what? So you get thrown in hell, and from their perspective, it means that you're going to burn forever or whatever. Burn.
Yeah.
How can you burn if you have your body don't exist? And we know on the other side things feel physical once you're on the other
Yeah.
side. You know that, but they don't
Yeah.
know, because even from
Yeah.
their logic, they
Yeah.
don't. They no longer have a body.
Yeah.
So, which
So,
means even what they're telling themselves, even when you say,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm gonna burn in hell," you cannot, because you
You
said
can't.
you don't have your body anyway. You're in the belief that your body don't exist
Right.
no longer, because
And
that's what death is. Your body don't exist in their term. So how can you?
additionally,
Right.
if you do experience hell, you only experience it for however long you want to experience it. The minute you say, yeah, I'm out of here, you won't be in hell no more. Like, you won't be there, because literally what you think manifests instantly. The concept of hell ain't, I mean, I guess it's bad or whatever, but it's what religion has done to that concept, meaning you're going to be confined, sent there and confined there, as though you don't have any power or freedom to change anything on the other side, when ultimately you have total power, total freedom. You're God, and you're literally the essence of what source is. So literally, as you think, so it becomes. Once you experience hell, maybe you go there and you experience some burning, because it is physical, and then you say, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. You out. Like, you done. Like, there's no confinement. The problem with a lot of these fear-based narratives is there's always some guy sitting somewhere telling you as a soul what's going to happen to you, whether it's go to heaven for eternity or go to hell for eternity or be in some lower astral plane, as these new age people say, for a time. None of that exists. You only, if you're there, is because you believed it to be so.
Yeah.
And the moment you stop believing that to be so, you will no longer be there. I was
Yeah.
literally in my father's house when I went to the halls of Amenti. I started out, I appeared in my father's house, and it went dark. And I said, take me to the halls of Amenti 3 times. And the next thing I know, I was in the halls of Amenti. So it's not, nothing said, oh, no, you got to stay here. Nothing can control me, because I'm a free soul.
Yeah.
And that why that's important is the moment you understand the freedom on that side, you'll start exercising that same freedom here. You'll stop being afraid of death.
But
You'll stop being afraid of not having enough or lack or all that stuff. You'll stop being in fear of these things here in this experience, and it makes for a better experience here.
I'm
Absolutely.
okay. I'm seeing the time. It says
No, go
7:30.
ahead.
What's
Yeah,
that for
yeah, you
you?
good. You
Okay,
good.
cool.
No, I got about 20 more minutes. I'm good.
All right, cool. So I wanted to touch on that because what I was trying to culminate for people is how important that you're gonna have these experiences. Yes, and this is why I've been in two minds as to whether or not to share a lot of my stories. I have hundreds of stories, and
Yeah.
sometimes I don't share
Oh, I don't share all my
because
stuff either. Yeah.
not because they're personal, because where people will go with them
Yeah.
sometimes, and I'm
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
That's not gonna help you.
Yeah.
Like,
Now I'll tell you some of the
you
stuff
see
I'll
what I'm
share is
saying?
also because it's personal. Because
Oh
there's
no,
certain
this
stuff that was just meant for me, and so I won't
and there's
share it with
that,
a large audience. But you're right. There's
and there's
certain
that.
things. Even Darius doesn't share a lot of stuff because he doesn't want to create fear because people aren't ready, or he doesn't want to create hope because people also not ready. So yeah,
There's that.
I feel
So
you.
there's a lot. I just been like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I keep it light, but I say this to
Mhm.
say the more we delve into this, the more I understand why people are doing these things. Even if you have, okay, why people, I see in why people are attached to the idea of hell. Because even if they truly believe they've been a great person and they're not going to hell, there's someone out there who they believe should go.
Exactly.
Because
Judgment.
they're not willing to forgive. And the
Yep.
idea that
Yep.
they're not going to go there is what they cannot get over.
Got it
So they
over.
create the hell just based on their want and desire for
To
that
judge.
person who's done them
Hmm.
wrong to be sent there.
Or anybody wrong. And so this is what I've come to understand as well, just through my experience, downloads I had, and just from stuff that was shared with me. Ain't nobody going to have no punishment for none of the stuff that's happened here. Now, do I condone bad things that happen here? Obviously not. And if it's in my circle of influence, I'm gonna do everything I can to stop it. But the worst person you think of, Jeffrey Epstein, ain't going to hell. Like, he's going to have a life review and experience everything he's done to everybody else, which will be his own personal hell because that
Yeah.
experience ain't to be taken lightly, but so will you. And so will me. So will I. We have things that we've done wrong to people. What we like to do, and it's just simply put, we like to quantify right and wrong. So not only do we have the polarity of good and evil, we also got levels, which now we go back to this
Hierarchy.
100% consciousness versus 50. So now you 50% evil, 100% evil, 100% good, 50% good. And so there's the hierarchies, and it's also that you can excuse your wrongs while judging someone else's. So this is
Yeah.
another reason why the OBE is so important, because once you understand that where there is unconditional love, there is no judgment. And the other side is unconditional love. So there is no judgment, because that would mean there would be conditions, right? So,
Yep.
So
yeah.
Yep.
yeah. So that leads me to ask you one question, or actually put a concept out there, and I think
Yeah.
it would help people.
Yeah.
So, like you say, you can indulge yourself in like the good and bad, and be like, the righteous guy that just, say, yeah, well, this is bad, this is good, you shouldn't do this, and whatnot. Yeah. However, from what I know, the OBEs or astral travel, whatever you want to call it, of course, we established that it was a natural ability for all of us, but has been used deliberately, planned by some, how can I call them?
A small group of people.
Some groups, many small, because it's not one, it's many small
many
groups.
small group,
Yep,
a
yep,
small group
yep.
of,
Small
of
groups,
people.
not necessarily, in a benevolent manner.
Yes. Yes, correct.
And that should humble you, whoever's listening, because here's the thing about OBE. It's some people, it's like money. You could do good things with it, you could do bad things with it, or what you perceive as such, or you could be neutral. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you put something too much on a pedestal, what you end up to do is, one, deprive yourself from it because you look up instead of saying, well, that's who I am. But
Yes.
also, you're not really helping anybody, because what you does by saying, oh, this is good and bad. So then when you say when something is good, you're forgetting that other people that are not necessarily, from your perception, are good or doing the same things you're doing. And they've been doing it and they've been influencing people, and
Yep.
it is
Yep.
there. It's there.
Yep. Yep.
So what would you say on that concept? To how do you approach life now? Because obviously some people could say, well, then what's the point of me being good then? You know, a lot of people will feel
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
You know, they'll say,
Oh yeah.
they struggle with that because I'm like, I've been good all this time and look, I haven't even benefit from that and stuff like that. How do you get people to understand maybe the reason to be good can be necessary, depending on
Yeah.
your perception
I
of it?
know exactly the question you asking. I'll answer it with a question. Why does a reward have to be in place for you to be good? That's religion. I'm telling you, there's no reward for being good, and there's no punishment for being bad. I'm telling you both sides of the coin. Th- No, you're not getting the extra thing because you don't get extra crown on your head because you were good this time, because you might have been bad last time. You see what I'm saying? It good and evil are just the experience, right? It's just what you do. How far are you willing to go outside of love? How far are you willing to stay inside of love? That's it. Because on the other side, there's no option to go outside of love. You are in love, period. You are in unconditional love. Your whole existence is unconditional love. So uh, I asked that question. Um, People are looking for a reward for themselves and punishments for others.
There we
And I'm
go.
telling you, there's no reward for you and there's no punishment for them. We are all here just to have the experience. And the experience is to experience that which we are not. So sometimes we come here, we get to be the good guy in the story. Sometimes we come here, we get to be the bad guy so that we can experience what that means to be the bad guy, right? So you can experience what that means to be the evil person or the good person. It's all about experience. It's just qualified in this realm through polarity. So you got good and evil. There ain't no such thing as that. And the moment people start realizing that on the other side, and this is why you have the OBE, I cannot stress enough, you're not going there just to see cool shit. You're going there to get a profound wisdom of what this experience is so that you can have it at a better way and you can accept it for whatever it is. If right now everything in my life falls apart, I don't go crazy because it's part of the experience. So when you said what would keep people from just not doing good stuff, well, nothing is. If they have it in their mind to do switch tomorrow and say, I was a good person this time, fuck that, I'm going to go be an evil person. Well, you already was going to do that. That's what you agreed to do before you came here. But most of us have an agreement, soul contracts, whatever you want to call it, to do a certain thing and to have a certain experience. And so if your experience, if today I decide to go out and off 15 million people like that, well, I had already agreed to do that before I ever came here. So I'm not surprising myself or anyone else by what I'm doing, right or wrong. If I go out, get $100 million and give money away, that was what I already was going to do, right? Um, it's not a surprise to meet my soul. My soul isn't surprised by what I'm doing here. My soul already knows what I'm going to do here from the time
Yeah.
I was born to the time I leave. And so I'm not surprising my soul. I'm not saying, well, why should I be a good person? Well, if you don't want to be a good person, don't be one. You was already not going to be one. I'm
Well,
not telling you to be a good person or a bad person. Be what your experience told you to be, And it's going, because listen, if you become a bad person, you're going to experience the punishment here in this realm for being a bad person. You're going to prison, you're going to get killed or whatever happens to you. I'm telling you, after that moment, only judgment you're going to experience is the judgment you put on yourself. And that's when you go through your life review. So I guess that's the only way to really describe it. If you want to be a shitty person, go be one. You're not surprising your soul by doing that. Your soul had already made an agreement to be whatever it is you are. Just know whatever you decide to do, you're going to have to experience it from your perspective and the other person's perspective at that life review. And some people ain't going to be able to forgive themselves for some of the shit they done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, the stuff I've done in my quantified mind, I'm sure I don't care what I done, right or wrong. I'm going to be able to walk away because I know I'm not coming back here. I've already decided I'm done with this shit.
I'm going to challenge you on that a little bit.
Go ahead.
What if everybody eventually forgive themselves? Because the reason why I'm saying I'm doing this right now is because
you mean hold on before you answer that question. I want to get the correct part of it. What if everybody forgives themselves here on the other side?
Eventually, everyone will go home. Everyone will forgive themselves.
Everybody is going to. That's not in question. That's going to happen.
So, because here it is, yeah. A lot of people, what I'm realizing now, they are saying, well, they pin a lot of things on one thing. So whether they're going to have OB and everything's going to change. Although, like you mentioned, you're going to have to do your own. Work. I don't even like to use work, but for the lack of a better word, I will say work.
I call it soul growth.
There you go. Yeah. So, and then there's a lot of things as well where you hear people saying, well, I'm running away from religion. But what I love to help the community with is not to create a new religion. Where you under the impression that only the people that do OBEs are great people. Yes. Now, the result of this might change their life, but
it's not going to change the outcome of who you decided to be.
Right. And that's how much you should know that that's a natural ability, because you don't have to be. Can I tell you
this piece? I hate to cut you off, but I want to stick right here before you move on and I forget with this part. Understand, having the OBE may make you even worse of a person because now you know you won't be judged. This is what I'm trying to tell people. It ain't a new religion. It ain't none of that. It ain't no good and evil. Ain't no good.
Corey. I swear, if I had like the bomb sound, I would have been like, because you just.
That's literally what we've been trying to do, to tell people, hang on, you could still be an asshole. And in fact, you find out that you're it don't matter what you do with your family or nothing like that, and it's all good. People gonna be walking all the way out.
Let me tell you this. I ain't a better person because I had an OBE. I just have better understanding. I'm still the same motherfucker. I'm still the same motherfucker. Like, I've not changed. I will cuss you out if you get out of pocket. If you do something to hurt my family, I will kill you. Like, I ain't in this mode where I'll forgive everything. I will love you, but if you, and the great thing about being in the U.S. is everybody carry guns. If you run up and try to do something to my family, I'm going to shoot you. I don't give a damn what you talking about. Like, that's just not one. I'm not going to let anybody harm my family. And let me say this. I understand that they're not my family. They are just playing my family here. Y'all are married here. On the other side, y'all might not be together. Y'all might not even be the same as what you are. You right now are a man. You right now are a woman. On the other side, you can be whatever the fuck you want. So maybe you'll choose. Maybe you originally were a woman and you came to experience life as a man, and vice versa.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've experienced instances of myself where I was a woman. So
that
wrapped that one up.
So I say all that to say this: the people in your life aren't necessarily what they are now. Is not what they are on the other side. So now I don't worry about them as much. I look at my 5-year-old daughter. I am in charge to take care of her until she's an adult enough soul to take care of herself. And listen, that is the responsibility I'm accepting. It's millions of men who don't accept that responsibility, and they ain't going to hell for that. They
Yeah.
not going to experience nothing. They gonna have to experience what life was for their child that they left. So they gonna have to experience all the shit that child went through because they left. But once you experience that and you can forgive yourself, it's over. Like, to your point, what if everyone forgives? I'm telling you, everyone is. Most, I would say 99.9, because we love percentages today,
Yeah.
99.9% of the souls are going to forgive themselves and move on because they're going to know when you at your life review, you're already a soul. So you already know all things. So you already know what's going to be in your life review.
Yeah.
You just got to go experience it. And after you experience it, you can forgive yourself and move on. Now,
Yeah.
will you do that or won't you? That's up to you.
Yep.
I know for everything I've done, I'm going to absolutely forgive myself because it was just a part of the experience that I agreed to have. And the people around me who I harmed agreed to have that experience with me. I'm going to forgive myself and move on and go create me another construct.
Do you know what, Corey, as you said that?
Yep.
Perhaps it can help for many people to understand that maybe a life review, we call it life review because our perception here,
Yeah.
being human on this
Right.
earth, right? But maybe it's the final integration because like you said it, you know everything already.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's the final integration of the experience.
Well, I won't say the
More
final.
than a life review.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
the reason why I wouldn't call it final because you've done it before.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Every time you've been here, you had to leave here and die and then go have a life.
Oh no, I'm talking about that particular life.
When you're like, oh,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
it. I'm not coming back.
So
Boom.
that is the download of your experience to source.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
This is source doesn't know what you are source having a human experience because on that other side you are none of these things. You aren't flawed. You don't die. You don't cuss people out. You don't slap the shit out of somebody. Like, you can't do that on the other side. So you literally are source having an experience of all this human shit and constructual shit because it's happening on every realm in the construct. Lyras slap the shit out of reptilians. They killed, like, it was a whole war that happened in that realm. Like, it was a whole war, like, between the reptilians and the Lyrans, and the reptilians wiped out millions of Lyran beings that turned into souls that came back here as humans or came back here as something else. This is where you get star seeds from. So my point is, this is just source saying, I don't fucking know what that feel like to do that. I don't know what it feel like to say fuck. Let me go down there and see what that feel like. And then I'm going to bring that back and download that. So now source is always understanding itself.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here. That's literally what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Because that's why I was mentioning upon what you just said, this, like, just being an integration, because many people have been a bit frightened of the life review. They're like, oh shit. Oh, I gotta fix my game, and they're like, oh wow, because they're literally scared. They're thinking, oh wow.
Well, you know why? Let me tell you why. Because punishment. They think that there's some eternal punishment coming, and B, they think that if they do something good, it's gonna wipe out the shit they gotta experience, the bad in the life.
Yeah.
Nah, motherfucker, you gotta experience it all because
you
source
can run, but you can't hide.
You can't hide. There is shit that I've never told people that I've done wrong in this world. I can't hide that on the other side. I gotta go through that. I gotta experience that, whatever I done to other people, and I gotta experience from their perspective, right?
Oh, you know what? It's funny you said that because it sounds to me like that actually got me thinking. Like, that is why that's your like you say, your shit to experience on the other side. And I think we live here a life where people like to openly judge people and social justice and like, oh, you done this, da, da, da. But that is none of our business. And the more you think it's your business, of course you're gonna find it hard to go and focus.
So let me tell you this. The
Yeah.
more you think it's your business, the more you're going to experience it because you're manifesting that in your own life. This is why I don't give a fuck about Jeffrey Epstein or Donald Trump or anything anybody doing. I don't, you're all here to play your part. It's a life, you know how they say life's a stage and everyone here is playing a part. That's literally true. This whole shit is just a stage for a temporary amount of time. Everybody here just comes, play their part, and leave. If you are so fixated, and this is part of the distortion, and part of the reason why this construct is so different from the others, because this is the only one you got to forget where you coming from to come here to have the
Yeah.
experience. This is the ultimate experience because you don't get to come here. Every other construct you can pop in and out of, you can go in and you know you're a soul, you know who you are. You don't have to, you know there's no such thing as good and bad. How boring is that shit?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting on a beach for eons drinking Mai Tais and I know nothing's wrong. Like, that ain't, how am I supposed to experience that which I'm not in those conditions? Well, if I come here and I forget, oh, part of the condition to go in this construct, this is why we're going to be celebrated at the end of the construct, because we were the brave souls to come here and forget. Every soul didn't come here. Every soul ain't coming here. It's unlimited. So, like, it's
Yeah.
an infinite amount of souls. People think that there's a finite number of souls that was being made. That ain't what I saw. There was infinite amounts of constructs, infinite amounts of souls. It's souls that said, nah, I ain't going in that shit. I'll chill over here. I'll keep doing my shit over here. We are the brave ones. We came here and experienced 12 levels of different bullshit. Polarity, distortion, fucking good, evil, morality, desire, punishment, all these different things, both on the good side and the bad. We came here to experience that. That's why we're going to be celebrated at the end of the construct. Like, there's going to be a song sang out for us because we were the brave ones that said, I'm going to go down there and fuck with that. Let's see what it looked like.
Yeah.
And I'm going to forget who I am to do it. So that's the big piece. Like, people are so worried about good and evil because they forget where they come from. So the only experience they know is what's happening right now. And many of them don't believe that there is an eternal existence beyond this, absent some sort of eternal reward or punishment. You know what I mean? Because their whole view is shaped on religion. Whatever religion, Christianity, Muslim, Islam, whatever, they all got the same tenets because they all come from the same Anunnaki beings that made up all this shit in the first place. Like, so when I hear people, the this is why the Bible says, judge not lest ye be judged, for the same manner of judgment you put on others will be judged against you. Because you're the ultimate fucking judge. So if you're judging these people, that's exactly how you're going to judge yourself when you go through
Yep.
your life review.
Yeah.
So I'm not judging nobody. I don't give a fuck what you do, to be quite honest. As long as you don't do it to me or my family, have at it, bro. Because the people, even the victims that you did what you did to, agreed for that to happen before they came here. And we can't forget that. Many times we look at victims, oh, the helpless children in Gaza. They came here knowing they would have that experience.
It's a
And
hard
that
pill
doesn't
for
make it
people
right
to
or wrong.
swallow
Listen, it don't make it right.
because they're
And it's,
not there. They're
yeah.
not
Well, this is it because
they're
they
not there
want,
yet. They
yeah,
want to still
yeah.
play that
They
part
want to
of the
play that part.
game,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
yeah,
part,
yeah,
the
yeah.
part of the outraged, the part of
Yes,
the
yes,
part of
yes.
the oh, this is the outcry, the
Or this,
outpour.
or the why would they choose that? Motherfucker, you might have chose it in another lifetime. You think that's the only atrocity that's ever happened? I was having this conversation with somebody, and that's gonna come out of an interview that I did with this brand that's kind of aligned with what we're doing. And he asked me about slavery. And I said, I'm trying to confirm this, but what if the last time we here, we was the slave masters? What if the people now that's not slaves, or the people now that's perceived to be on top were the people that were slaves in the last lifetime. Maybe black people are being treated the way they treated specifically in America, but because in the previous life we was the people who was doing the fuck shit. What if that's the case? I'm not saying I know that to be sure. That's not something I confirm.
It's just a theory we're working with.
Yeah, and something I would love to confirm. And if I see it, I would love to confirm that. But what I'm saying is people become so self-righteous. And so it's no way, how could they dare do that? Motherfucker, you might have done it the last time.
I'm going to shed some light on that one, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going after you. Go on. Just because it needs to be said. Go ahead.
Yeah.
In the spirit of people having their NDEs, there is a woman out there. When I first started looking into NDEs, there's a lady out there, black lady. She had an NDE, and she said what shook her to the core. When she found out she was their little girl picking cotton, and she felt whips in her back. And after her life review, she realized she wasn't only that little girl, she was the slave master on the horse whipping the same girl. She's never been the same.
See?
Look, here's the thing. If you can't get with the fact that you are a god and you have the ability to be omnipresent or multidimensional being, if that is too hard for you to grasp that idea, then of course you wouldn't be able to fathom the idea that maybe I can be the baddie and the goodie at the same time, same lifetime. Because you saw people are still in the human mind where you think, yeah, but how can I be this and this? Yeah, because you can be everywhere.
Okay, so what we're going to do, because this conversation has been amazing with Corey, we're definitely coming up with a part 2. So if you want to catch a part 2, it is going to be coming to you soon. And we look forward to continuing it. So as always, we love you. We thank Corey.
Thank you, guys.
And
thank you, Corey.
Yeah. Ciao.
Ciao.